Hey guys, my name is Kate, and on my right we've got a Suzuki Sierra with a 1.3 litre engine from 1991, and on the left we've got the 2020 Suzuki Jimny model with a 1.5 litre inline 4 engine. And today we're going to talk about the differences and similarities, pros and cons of each vehicle, and which is best for you. With almost 30 years in between each model's release, we thought we'd also take them out and put them to the test. The main similarities between the two are that they both have 2 doors, they're 4-wheel drives, both really fuel efficient, both 5-speed manuals. The Suzuki Sierra, we've had to do a little bit of work on it to get it to the point it's at today. Some of those include the back tailgate, which we've made a little table on, got wooden doors, replaced drum brakes, new door handles, new speedo cable, new starter motor. It's only been faulty once and needed a swift hammer tap to get going again. Brand new alternator, new soft top, new lower sump, and new headlights, to name a few. There are heaps of pros to the Suzuki Sierra. The soft top convertible is perfect for the beach, super easy to turn into what feels like a totally different car by taking the back off. Easy to work on the simple engine as well, so I've personally learnt so much about cars and about how engines work, just having to tinker on it myself and having to fix things when they go wrong. It's also relatively cheap on fuel, so the 50 litre tank gets you about 450 Ks. And then the ultimate pro, which is the price. So including all of the work done on it, it's cost me about 10K all up for what I bought it for and the extra work we've done. Cons of the Suzuki Sierra. The max speed is about 90 Ks.
Well, how fast are we going right now, Katie?
83 probably, revving at 3000 revs in 5th gear. It can go faster, but it feels like you're pushing it and it's screaming at you on the highway, so this is not the kind of car to be taking on trips around Australia or to Byron and back or anything like that. Another massive con is the rust. This has been the biggest thing to deal with and a reason why it's kind of on its way out. The engine still goes pretty well, but you can see the body is kind of falling apart, especially since it's a soft top. Water sometimes does get in, and I find the floor can be a bit puddly. The soft top as well is not very functional, so you can't keep your valuables in there. There's also no aircon. So you can put the windows down and feel like you've got a hot hairdryer in your face, but that doesn't really cut it. So that's a big one. It's also fairly bumpy compared to the newer model. So you can be driving on what looks like a straight flat road and still be kind of going up and down, which is all part of the fun. Things just tend to rattle a little bit more on the old one. You can kind of feel the body shaking. You can almost feel every cog going into place as well when you're driving it, which is honestly awesome, but then doesn't go so well for a smooth, peaceful ride. Another con is that the petrol gauges never work in these older models, so it's always a bit of Russian roulette when I get to the petrol station. Cons is that it comes with free spiders, the Suzuki Spider. The Suzuki Jimny, the work we've done on it, we've basically done nothing. It's basically stock except for the headlights. So we bought it secondhand with 6,000 Ks on it, and it doesn't need anything. Pros of the Jimny. There's really comfortable suspension, so although it's a short wheelbase and you still feel those bumps more than other cars, it's definitely not as noticeable as the Sierra. There's great aircon in the car. There's pretty much absolutely no rust. The car can drive 110 Ks comfortably, although you can feel that that's also reaching its limit a little bit, so it's not super powerful, but it definitely goes comfortably faster. The new tech is also a massive plus. You can plug your phone in and use the touchscreen. It's overall newer. It is safer with airbags, and the fuel efficiency is better. So there's a 40 litre tank, which gets you roughly 500 Ks. Cons of the Jimny is that it is not as cool. It feels a little bit plasticky inside, so no soft top option. So that's only something that the older models feature. The price, basically brand new with these, come at around 36k, which means that you could buy 3 Sierras and do them up with that money if you wanted to. Overall build quality just seems to be a little lower on the Jimny, but I guess that's a good trade-off for having no rust and some high functional features. So, still good. In terms of four-wheel drive capabilities, they're roughly the same, with the Jimny being a bit faster and quicker off the mark. We did find we were more willing to send the older car a bit harder than the new one. So, which is best? If you need to drive long distances comfortably and rely on tech to get anything done, and you have a spare 30 grand, go for the 2020 Jimny. If you have a smaller budget like me, and you don't mind some bumps, and only need to drive short distances, then maybe the older style is better for you. Keep in mind there will be constant little things that require attention and maintenance, but if you have an interest in cars and want to know how they work, and you enjoy pulling them apart and putting them back together, then this is the perfect car to learn all of that on. The engine is simple, and parts are very easy to find. We have honestly learnt so much from this little weapon of a car. The soft top is a real head turner and absolutely fantastic on a hot day to the beach, however a little bit impractical and definitely not as secure as the Jimny. At the end of the day, it all depends on your budget and how much you'd like to fiddle with cars. For example, you could buy an old Sierra and build a miniature monster truck for cheaper than a stock Jimny. If you have the time and availability, you could create something absolutely ridiculously cool, similar to what we saw whilst travelling through Asia. So the reason we filmed this video is so that you can find out which model is best for you before thinking that you do have to splash a odd 30 grand more than you may need to. But the reason we've absolutely loved our little Suzuki Sierra, but the reason we are selling it is because we have much bigger plans to take on a mammoth project, rebuilding a 1985 Toyota Coaster, and that project requires a whole lot more money, a whole lot more patience, and a whole lot more grit. It's not easy, but if you want to follow along the journey, we'll be documenting it here. So stay tuned for more of that. Which one would you pick? Let us know in the comments below, and feel free to check out any of our other videos. I'm Kate Coldis, not Nathaniel Lane, here temporarily to spice it up.